Yo, yo, yo.
Hello.
Happy New Year.
What's up, coworkers?
What's up, y'all? It's 2023.
Yeah, we need a bomb drop for the 2023.
I was early.
Yeah, you was. But welcome back. We in the new year.
Yeah, it's already feeling good for us. You know, we feeling them positive vibrations.
We are.
You know, and we feeling even better because y'all are going to all of our streaming platforms, YouTube, Apple, Spotify.
Yes, the engagement is going
absolutely, y'all liking, subscribing, all of that stuff. So keep it up, co-workers. We appreciate y'all so much.
Thank you.
Let's make 2023 our year.
Even better, yes. And for the people who enjoy audio when it comes to podcasts, because most times I just listen to the audio podcast, we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I think it's Google Podcasts. I gotta double check, but it is. Okay. Thanks, Marvin. But yeah, so you can literally listen to us when you're in your car, so you don't just have to watch us on YouTube, even though I know you guys like watching our pretty faces.
It is pretty.
You can listen to just the audio. So this episode is going to be a little different. As you can see, we're both holding a deck of cards.
Unless you're listening, then you can imagine that we're both holding a deck of cards.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I see what you
So
did there.
the last episode that we had for the end of the year, we had Kayla and Yvonne on. So
Shout out
to them. Thank you guys for coming on. You're always welcome to come back on. We actually have Jasmine and LaShawn who want to come back. So we'll probably do like a quad episode with them too.
And I think that'd be a dope dynamic because their conversation skills was like...
Yeah, it flowed
definitely
crazy. So the one with Jasmine, that was actually one of our most viewed YouTube episodes. But in the last episode with Kayla and Yvonne, we did start this game, we started...
Unpack That.
Yes. So we're just going to do an episode with just the cards today. So...
I'm going to get started because we got a couple cards in here. And I got an even number. And she got an even number. I got an odd number. So that means I need to go first. So I'm going to start
Why do you got to go first? Because you got an odd number.
Because if
Is
I
that
do...
good luck?
No, because it balances it out.
Okay.
I got you. I got you. All right. So especially for somebody like me, this question is very, very important because I think...
Let me take a deep breath because this is about to get deep.
I think oftentimes y'all might see what y'all think and believe perception is reality. So the question is my online persona accurate to how I am in person? Dana,
Okay.
let's start with you.
All right. So you want me to answer it for you or
No,
for
I want you to
myself?
answer for yourself.
Okay. So I would say I'm mainly on Instagram. Like I have a TikTok account. I don't really use it to like make TikTok videos, but I'm on Instagram for the most part. And I would say my profile, it probably shows about like 40% of who I am as a person. Like it's just like cute glamour pictures. Like I don't really put out too many videos of like me like talking on the podcast. Like I separate it for my personal page and then like the podcast page. So in person, I am much more conversational. And I'm like very logic, and obviously like I have a career in technology. I'm into real estate, and on Instagram like that's just not what you get. Like yes, in the bio, but that's not the pictures that I'm posting. So that is one of the things that I want to kind of do next year is just like post more about like what I'm doing in my personal life and not just like cute pictures.
I mean, we don't mind the cute pictures. You know, men particularly.
Yeah,
Or
men
women should.
love it. They're the main ones that like my shit, which makes sense because like that's why guys be on
Boost it up.
Instagram.
But for me, I believe that a lot of what you see online is an exaggeration of who I am. Like, don't get me wrong, I am a crazy motherfucker. Like, Dana can attest to who I am outside of the internet. But at the same time...
Well, tell us about your Instagram right now. Like, what do you post on your Instagram?
I don't post nothing. I just post wholesome content, poetry.
You
talking
post
about
your kids.
I do post my kids. I post everything in my life, right? But what I try to do is I try to have a separate section in the close friends, obviously, for some of the raunchy.
Close friends?
I don't know. I think I might have took you out once because stop it.
So okay, finish what you were saying. Because what?
Because you see me a lot, so I'll be trying, just in case it's some extra shit. I was like, that's not.
I would not want to see that. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Even with your poetry, which is very sexual, I'd be mortified reading it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, what the fuck? Like,
well, part of it is based on the things that I see on the internet. I'm not gonna say it ain't things that I've done or whatnot, but I scroll on Twitter and I see something like, oh, boom, let me just talk about it. They like it.
Okay.
Like, so a lot of that, honestly, is just fun. It's just having a good time, laughing about some shit, doing things that typically I wouldn't do in real life. But
so your page is just exaggerated.
Yeah, it's definitely an exaggeration.
Okay.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm that person, but you got to get a lot out of me to get that person.
Yeah.
So.
And just to circle back to something you said about the close friends. So I was very against having a close friends for a long time. Like, I think I just made my close friends in the summertime because I was just like, why am I making a separate... It kind of felt like a separate profile in a sense where I'm just posting shit for just certain people to see. It's like, this is social media. Like, I don't have anything to hide from anybody. Like, what's the purpose of just having like a group of friends? Like, I can literally just send them that message in the group chat.
Well, I have a close friends because my son follows my Instagram. My mother.
I was gonna get to that.
Yeah.
So I now have a close friends because I have younger family members who follow me, and I don't like. There's just some things I don't think they should be exposed to. Not that I'm posting like wild shit, but
no, I post wild shit. So it's like,
I know.
But even if it's not like that kind of wild shit, like I'm not on Instagram having sex with no woman or anything like that, nothing crazy.
They will flag your account.
They flagged my account. I got banned from TikTok because it was a bare titty in my poetry. I didn't even know it was a titty showing.
You got banned from TikTok?
I got banned from TikTok.
Wow.
Like, my views was going up too.
I didn't
like,
even know that
crazy.
was a thing.
But it happens. Go.
All right, so then let's go to the next card. So it does have words on the back saying reflection. So this card game, it did come with separate sections. We have tough questions and reflection. So reflection is more of like personal questions that relate to yourself. So this one says, would you date yourself? Honestly, I wish I had somebody like me to date.
That's some arrogant shit to say.
No, it not on. Listen, in the most humblest way. Like, not on some like I know I'm the shit, but I'm thinking about it from just a thoughtful perspective, and just someone who thinks about others, and just like, I don't know, like I just be doing nice shit for people if I really like you. Like, I don't have anybody who's done that for me. That sounds so fucking lonely, but that's just what it is.
Smallest violin. No, I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
But,
So
all right. So wait. Aside from the things that you would do for yourself and whatnot, if you were to look at yourself in the mirror, what would you say? Obviously, not from a physical perspective.
I was gonna say not from a physical perspective because I'm not.
But what would you say is? What would you say is the most attractive qualities that you would find if you were attracted to yourself from a mental perspective?
I would say the most attractive thing is... That's a hard fucking question.
I know, that's why I posted.
Can we
like
circle
that.
back to that? Like, you answer.
All right, Kayla. I'm fucking. But I date myself now.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
what about yourself? Why
because
would you date yourself?
for starters, I wouldn't run a relationship with myself because I don't want a relationship. Like, I don't believe in that. Like, I believe relationships are
relationship and dating are two different things. So
it gets to one point.
Okay.
So I wouldn't want to be bothered. I think I'd be a great time. I think I'd be a dope person to interact with and spend quality time and do things and travel and live life and create experiences. But at the same time, I'm better off as a friend.
So there's like no chances of yourself being able to date yourself at all?
Not me. No. And I'm cool with that. Because I know me. It's like, you know what? You great at what you do. You're great at being a friend. You're great at being a support system. A lover, maybe not. And I'm okay with that.
Got it. All right. Well, at least you are honest. And that is the first step on getting better.
I'm pretty damn good. I'm not going to be humble. I know me.
So we'll put this up here so that like I can think about that last question that you said. So what's your card?
What is something you appreciate more the older you get? For me, it is naps. Like I
love naps, but I've always loved naps. Like
see, as a kid, you just wanted to go. You just wanted to I just want to play. I just want to watch TV.
I always made time to sleep.
I mean, everybody does, but
no, since I was a child.
Like, so at 4 PM, you napping?
As a child, I think I probably went to bed early.
What kind of childhood? Nah.
Like I just love sleeping. You know why I love sleeping though? So, just to bring it back to my zodiac sign.
What's your zodiac sign?
Being a Pisces, like, you know, we are very imaginative and
sleepy.
we're very like dreamy, right? So for me it's like kind of literal, because when I sleep, I always remember my dreams for the most part. So I'll dream about just going to like different planets and just seeing different shit, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of look forward to that. But I've always had those kind of dreams since I was a child, and I think that's why
like,
I like sleeping.
Yeah, nah,
it was fun. It was always
the same
fun
for me. Like I had very vivid dreams also as a kid, to the point where I still remember some of them. But I don't know, it was just so much life, and especially because I had a big imagination too, but I was a daydreamer. That was my thing. I'd rather not talk to people. I'd rather like just be in my own thoughts.
Like zone out.
Yeah, like I would walk to school and just be having a whole TV show in my head, because you know, yeah. But now that I'm older, I really need to embrace my downtime. Like I get off of work, I just busted my ass for 10, 12 hours. I just want to relax, chill, silence. I just want
to take a nap.
Let me just get my shit off.
I can relate to that, because I need my alone time, because like that gives me time to think, like really have like deep thought processing when it's just silence. So I do appreciate those times where like yes, I am single and I do like live on my own, and I know that's not going to be the situation forever. So I'm just taking full advantage of all of that, because like whenever I do eventually get into a relationship, start having kids or whatever the case, it's not going to be as quiet as it is
fuck
now.
all that quiet shit. I'm sleeping through it all.
I'm gonna need a woman cave. I'm gonna definitely need a woman cave.
Is that a thing?
It's a thing.
Oh, like a she shed?
But in a house.
Men have, you can't just woman-splain having a woman cave. That's a man thing. Because that's a man thing. Men have man caves.
No, so okay, listen. So women, they have that, but they'll have it in their closet. So I've seen some women where like they literally have like a whole vanity, and like it's like a room for their closet, and that's like their safe space. So I don't want a closet. Like I want like maybe a woman cave where it's like I have my TV.
Y'all can't just make a new name for it. Why I gotta be a woman cave?
What's the problem?
Because it was already a man cave. Like we came up with that on our own.
It's equality.
That's not equality. That's hijacking. That's stealing.
No.
Y'all can't even be.
It's the same concept.
Yeah, it's called stealing.
No.
We just talked about.
Because the purpose of it is to just have an escape, right? From like your alone time, from like the family.
Where you can just call it something different.
Well, I'll think of a different name for mine, and then I'm gonna have it like plaqued on the front, on the door.
We just talked about plagiarizing, and here you go. You just gonna just steal.
Oh my god.
Damn.
Whatever.
Anywho's, but yeah, what about you? What's something that you appreciate the older that you got?
I would say quiet time, like I said.
Oh, stealing again.
If I'm agreeing with you, we on the same page. That's not a bad thing. I would say another thing for me. These questions, I'm not gonna lie, are really making me like think about me as a person and like shit that I really like care about. So, as far as I'm relate it to like dating, because you know that's just what the people love. So I think quality time and like quality conversation is something that I cherish as I got older.
Do you think your love language changed
from when I was younger? Yes.
Yeah, because I think
I'm a very like conversationalist kind of person, and I like to talk on a phone for hours.
Yes.
Like I'll be on a phone, not with you.
You be talking. You be talking.
Well, when I'm interested in somebody, like,
from a friend perspective too, like, not to cut you off.
I've been trying to talk to my female friends, and
I think you enjoy having conversation, like you said. There's nothing wrong with that, and you're a very engaging person, and the people on the other end of it, they catch on, and then they match that energy. So I completely understand where you're coming from. Go ahead and finish up.
Yes, I was just going to add that people that I enjoy talking to, who can like actually hold that conversation, we'll be on the phone for like 2 hours easy, and it won't feel that long. So that's shit that I really appreciate, because like nowadays, because we're going into a generation where a lot of people just be on social media and like have their phone glued to their face, it's like they don't want to pick up the phone and call people.
I was talking to this girl. I had to be like 18. She would be on the phone for 6 hours.
With you?
Legit. Like, I don't
know.
Talk? I don't remember what we talked about, but I know after 6 hours, the phone would cut off.
Oh, because of the minutes.
No, it wasn't even the minutes. It was just, it must have been a built-in mechanism to the razors that if you talk on the phone for 6 hours, that shit just cuts off. Her ass would be like, call me on the house phone. Like, god
it
damn.
It probably overheated. I had a razor.
I just wish I didn't talk to her. Like, she just wouldn't shut up. But that's
that makes sense, because there's people too nowadays that, like, are you a FaceTime kind of person?
No, I'm a texter.
Oh, okay. All right. So some people will try to like make me a FaceTime person, will like randomly call me on FaceTime, and I'm not like, don't randomly call me on FaceTime. Like, I don't want to pick up the phone.
Is it because you want to be prepared for FaceTime, or you just don't want to FaceTime?
So when I FaceTime, like, I have to be sitting down. Like, I can't just be doing other things like cooking or like driving or something. Like, I don't like FaceTiming when I have other shit to focus on. Like, FaceTiming for me is it's just more intimate than like a phone conversation, because you're like face to face with the person. So I want to give you my undivided attention.
Not me. Fuck that.
Okay. So
I be doing everything. Fuck that. You want to inconvenience me?
But that's how I feel about FaceTime. So because like I give that energy, and it is a lot, and it is time consuming, I know that I don't have this time today, so just call me on a phone and I can do other shit.
But it's the same thing though.
But there's some people who, like, they don't even, as long as they're on FaceTime with you, y'all don't even have to be talking on the phone or like saying anything. Like, just having you there.
That's that creep
shit. That's a waste of battery to me.
Yeah.
That don't make sense.
But, presence is big, right? Presence isn't just physicality. Presence is just filling your space. So, some people need that, like in a long distance relationship and things like that. So
I think that's very dependent on people.
Or if it feels good. It feels good. If somebody is there and just present for you, it's just like, oh, thank you for being here.
I don't understand that. Like, if we're not talking about something, I'm going to end the call. Like, the moment shit gets, like, quiet, I'll be like, oh, let me go. I got something to do. And then that's it. I'll talk to you later.
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you.
Okay. So, is it my turn? All right. This says, what do you value most in friendship? I would say nowadays, since I am approaching 30, and
drop a bomb for 30.
I got 2 years.
I'm be 30 next year.
We talked about this.
What? I'm turning 30 for the fifth time.
As I get older, one of the things that I know I value with friendships, and it's not the talking all the time, because as we get older, life happens, and we just are doing different shit within our lives, so we don't have the time that we used to have when we were younger to just like spend so much in-person time with friends. So I cherish the friendships that are very genuine and don't seem forced. So I would say people that just want to be in your presence, and like go, like that'll hit me up like, hey, do you want to do this? Like, schedule things in advance, because that kind of tells me that, okay, you miss like hanging out with me and you want to like see me, so let's schedule something on the calendar. And to me, that just makes me feel like you value our friendship, rather than me always having to make plans for shit.
I think some people do struggle though when it comes to being assertive, when it comes to making plans and having the time. So as a friend,
you could schedule like 2 months in advance.
I know, but when it comes to money situations, when it comes to time situations,
It don't gotta be like going out. Like we can literally just hang out in one of our apartments. But you saying like asking me like, oh, when are you free? And then and I'll give you that date, and then you'll be like, okay, well, do you want to do this? Like, give me options, and then we'll schedule something or just something where we catch up. Like, I love that.
Yeah, a lot of people still struggle with that. So, I hope in 2023 y'all get to it.
What about you?
One of the most important things for me when it comes to friendship and what I value the most is presence, right? Like we just talked about FaceTiming. I do not need you to be physically present in my life, but I need you to be like in my heart. Like I need you to constantly be on my mind and on my thoughts.
Is it like checking in on you?
That's why
is important.
I do a lot of that because I know that's what I need. Like, I need people to reach out and say, hey, you good?
I kind of stopped doing that for a minute. I'm not going to lie. Because I was that friend who was always doing the checking in. And then I kind of pulled back a little bit because I realized that these friends that I was checking in on, like, they weren't checking in on me. They would kind of just wait until that check-in. And it's like, well, are you even, like, considering me or, like, thinking about, like, how I'm doing? Like, to me, that shows me that, like, okay, I am someone that you value. So if you're not checking on me, then it's like, I don't know, is it really worth it?
But one thing I learned to stop prioritizing, and this might come off as odd to a lot of people, but I stopped prioritizing reciprocity. Like,
what's reciprocity?
Reciprocity is basically I do for you.
Did you look that up before this episode?
No.
Okay.
I know I have a vocabulary. Sorry. We talk about it every show. So, anywho's, but it's basically like I do for you and you do for me, right?
Okay. Reciprocation.
Yeah.
Okay. You're just trying to make shit difficult to say.
I'm sorry.
It's reciprocation.
Anywho,
trying to be extra.
So it's like what is it? An adverb? I don't fucking know. I don't know how that shit goes.
Anyways, I know grammar, clearly.
Anyways, but what I realized is like I do for people because I want to, not because of what you've done for me or the need to do anything in return.
But it can get exhausting.
It doesn't though, because once I realized that I don't have to worry about that, like I stopped worrying about like what people do for me, because it can never be equal. It shouldn't be.
Shit isn't equal, but I think with friendships, it should be to where you're not pouring so much in someone else's cup all the time. Like just with relationships, it's never like 50-50. Like someone is always doing more at some point, depending on like mental stuff or like financial stuff or whatever. But with friendships, it's a different level for me because number one, like I'm not trying to build a family with you. Like it's not that kind of dynamic. But if I'm reaching out constantly, I'm checking on your mental health, I'm asking you, like, how's your family doing? Like, what are you up to? And we don't talk unless I hit you up. And let's say this goes on for the majority of our friendship. So maybe like 5 years or whatever the case. To me, it's like, it's exhausting because I'm doing so much to maintain this friendship.
I also realize that's kind of the type of person that you are though. So it's like, am I upset that you aren't giving the energy that I want you to give?
I think true friends know. Like,
yeah, but I can't tell somebody to be different just for me. Right. And that's what I've learned about a lot of my friends.
That's not the point though.
Okay.
My point is like I guess people value friendships differently. And in order for me to know that like we're like genuine friends, if I'm like constantly doing all of this, you can at least like reciprocate something. Like I'm saying, if it's like a extreme case where I'm not getting anything from this person, then like that's obvious. It's like, is this person really my friend?
See, I get where you come from. That's part of where I disagree, right? Like, because I don't need anything from you. Like I'm not in a friendship to gain something from you.
It's needing though. It's just knowing. So, all right, let's give an example. So let's say that your friend goes to the hospital for something like really bad that happens, and like you're there every day checking in, making sure they're okay, and then God forbid something happens to you. You're in the same situation. This same friend that you done checked in on and like made sure they were good, like they haven't called, they haven't texted, like they haven't even came to visit. you wouldn't feel a type of way?
No, because I recognize that other people deal with things differently than me. Just because I dealt with it differently for them doesn't mean that they're obligated to do the same thing. The fact that we always have that expectation for people to do like that is why so many friendships falter, why so many friendships break up, because it's like you're not being the friend that I am to you, and that's not what a friend is. I need you to be you.
I think
not
we can agree to disagree, because I don't think it's like I'm expecting a me from my friend. I just want you to be a friend. And it's like, well, what is your definition of a friend? Like, not even like showing up and like that way when like I'm in a serious like condition or whatever, like in the hospital. So to me, it's like, well, what do you value in this friendship? So, okay.
My turn for the question. What are you still unlearning? I'm still unlearning how to be a friend.
Can we get a ding?
I'm dead serious. Like, I'm unlearning.
Are you like, what do you mean? Like, what is the issue with your friendship?
I don't think I have an issue with friendships, but I have an issue trying. Like, it's funny, but really just trying to detach from what my expectations are. So I have this big thing, like I'm no longer having expectations in humans because expectations create disappointments.
They do.
So if I don't have an expectation in you, nothing's gonna frustrate me. Like,
I think as you get older though, like when people start having families, like they start like getting into that retirement age or whatever, you start to just think back and think about the people that are in your life and who you value and who values you. Like, that's most important. So to say that you don't expect anything from them, it just goes back to the last question. It's like, well, what did your friendship mean to them? Like, did it mean anything? Like, they just aren't around anymore? Like, I don't know. To me, it's different.
Yeah, like I said, I can't put my value of someone else into what they do, only into what I want, right? So based on whoever is in my life, I had some great friends, some subpar friends, some friends that's going to increase, decrease, whatever the case may be. It's just what it is.
You grow out of friendships too.
Yeah, but I don't want to anymore because I recognize.
So that's an expectation.
No, it's not an expectation.
Yeah, you don't want to grow out of friendships.
Yeah, I can literally do it. It doesn't have to be an expectation for me. But I realize, like, some people in life aren't going to progress. Why am I penalizing them for that?
So you just won't be their friend no more?
No, I will. I'm just saying, like, I can't say I made it to another level, whether it's social, promotional at the job, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever the case may be. I just can't leave people behind because, oh, you're not on my level no more. That's fucked up. So I'm not doing that. I'm unlearning that. What about you?
What are you still unlearning? I think I'm still unlearning probably how to express my emotions, because my bad, like we're drinking this wine cooler and it's making me gassy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like sometimes I have a hard time expressing like what I want from people, and I'm thinking from like a romantic space, even from like a job perspective, because at my job, like there's just so many things that I disagree with, and I was to a point where I'm like, well, I don't even want to express my issues. Like, I just want to find another job. Like, fuck this. But I started to just do some reflecting, and I'm like, well, the pay is good. Like, I'm not getting one of the things that probably like two of the things that like I initially thought I would. And there's still so many like positive things. Like, I have like connections to higher ups, and like there's a lot of different networking opportunities. So I think for me, I just need to express in a more productive way like what exactly I want from the job and like my expectations. And then from a dating perspective, I'm usually like, when someone you've been ghosted before, right? You know how that feels. Yeah. So that's happened to me like quite a lot recently. And I don't like shut down, but I'll just be like, okay, like it was nice. It was fun while I literally said like it was fun while it lasted. And it's like, well, why did I express myself that way? And not just say like how I really felt. So I think I got to stop being so guarded.
But what does saying how you really felt change?
It doesn't. And that's my point. But I'm also kind of like, well, why didn't I say things that like were not bothering me, but things that like I wanted out of this from an earlier point when I noticed shit was shifting.
And you know, shit be shifty quick.
Yeah, because when the conversation starts getting shorter with you, it's getting longer with somebody else. So,
Preach.
all right, so let me ask my question. Is this for you? Yeah. Okay. So, do you trust me? Describe why.
I do trust you. I trust you because you are very cognizant of everything, all the scenarios, all the variables. You really think things through, to the point where it's like, is she overthinking this shit? But it's like,
I'm an overthinker.
It's like, nah, she's double checking, triple checking, just to make sure that shit works.
To cover all bases.
And that's just from a podcast perspective. But we've been friends before the podcast. And you've always had my back. You've always been there if I called, if I texted. You've always been somebody that I can confide in. And
I've given you advice. A lot of relationship
doesn't
advice.
mean I listen.
Yeah.
Nah, she definitely, she's always given me perspective. And one of the most important things that she's given me is the judgment-free zone. Like, that's where I can put my true trust into a friend, where it's like, hey, I'm just going to be raw, authentic, and this is what it is. This is who I am. And she just...
That's another thing that I value from the friendships, to circle back to that.
Yeah. Oh, you going to circle back to that one too?
That's last.
All right, but do you trust me? That's a no. You seen the side?
No, because I'm gonna tell you why I do.
Okay.
So I do. So for me, trusting people is hard. Just like you said, because you really can't depend on people or like have expectations, because you never really know until you're in a bind if they are someone who can like be there for you. So like in my life, not to make this shit hella deep, that's the purpose of these cards. It's called Unpack That.
Unpack it.
But in my life, like I haven't had like certain like important people like haven't really been that trustworthy. I'm not gonna go into detail of who, but the main people who I've always knew, if I call them at any point, or like if I got arrested or something wild, like they would always be there.
First off, I get arrested with you because you know we fucking shit up.
Yeah, you'd probably be there. Anyway, so because like it hasn't been a bunch of people, I've always been like guarded in that sense, where I don't really like asking for help for things, because it's like I'm gonna figure this shit out one way or the other. Like I don't usually tell people like when I'm going through shit, because it's like, well, what can you do? But I don't think that's the best way to look at things, because it's like, well, some people just genuinely want to be there for you and like allow you to vent. So for you, I would say like with this podcast, I'm not gonna lie, like I was a little apprehensive, just because there is a lot of things we have to depend on with each other, which is the scheduling, the booking, the studio, the payment for this, like the topics, the reels. Because like besides recording this podcast, there's so much shit that goes on behind the scenes, which includes like the reels, the social media, like running all of that extra shit. And I kind of thought that I would be the only one doing all of that. So you did step in a big way, where like you were dependable for a lot of that as well. So in that sense, like I definitely trust you. And I appreciate that. This is very deep and I don't fucking like it.
Well, would you like it more if you were where you wanted to be in life right now? That's my next question. So you see how I segue naturally. That was some dope shit right there. Okay. But no, are you where you want to be in life right now? Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah, you gotta answer.
No, and I don't think I'll ever be. Because I'm a goalpost mover.
I am too.
Like, and I don't want to bring up track, because I always bring up track, but this is the reason why I'm a goalpost mover. I had reached my goal my senior year in college, qualified for nationals. I jumped the distance I wanted to jump. I was feeling on top of the world in cloud 9. I didn't have any more goals. So after I did it, I was just there. I was just, it wasn't a what's next. It was like, okay, I'm complete.
Was it more so you thinking like, okay, let me focus on my education? And
Absolutely not. No, I went to college for
For
The
parties?
hoes and the athleticism. Like, I didn't really give a fuck about the education. I honestly don't even know how I got through it, because wasn't most of those test A's. I mean, I'm pretty goddamn smart, so a lot of them were, but like economics.
So you didn't have to like try too hard.
No, at all. Teachers really looked out for us, so you know, I'll just
can we just
keeping them
circle
up.
back to that? Like teachers in college, there was some of them that literally like gave you the answers for shit.
Because if you think about it, you're paying $20,000.
Yeah, and that's on the cheap side.
So you're basically paying for a college degree. The only way you don't pass in college is if you literally don't go to class.
Don't go to class, exactly.
Like, they're not gonna fail you. You're gonna get a C.
They'll work with you in different ways than one.
Yeah. So all my teachers, they looked out for me. They made sure, all right, if you fucking up, here's extra credit. Here's something like.
Okay, I also think when it came to athletes, though, like you guys were more like catered to. Because not saying like from a campus perspective, from like a bigger university, but I've seen sports documentaries. By the way, I really like Last Chance U on Netflix. That's my shit. And I don't watch it. I literally don't watch it for basketball.
We know.
Not even like that. I literally watch it because I love documentaries and just like seeing the storyline behind like all the students and like why they're there and that kind of shit. Like that's what attracts me to the show. And some of them are cute.
It's legit. Like, it's legit. I don't wanna put nobody's business out there. But you know, I have close relations to people who've been through different schools and colleges for sports and different things like that. And if you're good, they will find a way.
Yeah.
Even
and if you're like a
3,
star
4,
player too, like they will literally like have someone write your shit just so you go back.
Yeah. So, but to get back to the question, beyond that, I never felt like it was enough. Like, now I want more. I want more. I want more. I accomplished that. I want more. I want more. I want more. And I feel like that's the best way to stay motivated, because I watch a lot of Hamilton. Even though it's one play, I watch it a lot. And one of my favorite songs.
Where do you watch Hamilton?
It's on Disney Plus. Yeah, you gotta watch it.
I'm not watching that.
Listen, the coworkers, they like Hamilton. But being a writer too, it's like I'll never be satisfied. Like, it's just what I've realized. And the more that I try to satisfy myself, the more I want more. So, no.
I think that's natural. So for my answer to do I think I'm in, what is it?
Are you where you want to be in life right now?
I would say yes. I feel like I'm in the right time, the right space, and like the right career. Like everything that the choices that I've made prior to now have been in my best interest to accelerate me as a person, like mentally. Because I think I've said this on multiple podcast episodes, like how I have like a lot of time by myself to do a lot of self-reflecting, because like we're all not perfect, and I'm also like not that old where I've had like so much life experience, but I think it's like shaping me to just make better decisions in the future. As far as like a financial perspective, I am definitely higher than I thought I would be at this point. But one of the things that I've always made sure that I've done for every job that I've had, like I think I've had probably about either four corporate jobs, like since I've graduated not high school, college, up until now. And every job that I've had, I've always doubled my salary. So to answer that question, I would say yes, I'm in the right place at the right time in my life.
And it's only going up from there.
Only going up. Exactly. Is it my turn?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That's a long bomb. That's Hiroshima and Nagasaki. God damn.
All right. It says, what is a dream you have let go of? Talk about the track and field.
So, as we talked about, I let that shit go like as soon as I kind of reached my goals.
I have a question, though, to expand on this. So, I know you said when you were in college, like, that was just what you wanted to do. Like, what was the plan, though? Like, it was to go to college, do track and field. Like, did you want to graduate college and, like...
Honestly, I never wanted to go to college. So my cousin Justin went to Kane. He would talk about it when I was in high school. It was like, yo, you gotta come to college, it's fun. So I'm like, I'll think about it.
So you went because it's fun?
No, I wasn't. Out of high school, I didn't take my SATs. I didn't take my ACTs. I didn't do anything. I got a job working at Home Depot full time at 17.
Okay.
So I was like, I'm just gonna work. I'm just gonna grind, do what I gotta do. I don't want to go to college. I don't believe in it. The education is some bullshit. Still is some bullshit.
It is some bullshit.
And my grandmother gave me that old fashioned ultimatum: you either gonna work or go to school. So I'm working at Home Depot, but my cousin, he kept putting it in my ear. Hey, do an application.
But shout out to your cousin Justin though, because when you do, from my family perspective, like when you come from a family that's based in poverty, like yes, everyone is smart, but it's like in order to get out of that poverty, you have to have some type of education, some type of professional education. Either it's like community college, trade school, four-year university, in order to excel like your thinking process. So that's just something I wanted to add.
So in the midst of things, I actually got a full scholarship offer from Monmouth University because I had sent out my track and field stuff from high school. I only did track for 1 year, so I didn't really have my name out there. And I did track in Pennsylvania. So moving back to Jersey, Monmouth was like, "Oh, I think we can do something with this."
Was it
kid.
because you were really good at it?
I was decent.
Like breaking records?
No, I didn't do anything quality in high school. It was just like, oh, this is a raw talent and we can make something work with it.
So they want to shape you into being a great athlete.
So that ended up making me take my SATs because I had to take my SATs in order to get a scholarship. But something fell through in like clearinghouse and all this random shit. So I just gave up on that. And then it just so happened that I was working at Home Depot and Kane sent me an acceptance letter.
I think they sent that to everybody.
Hey,
I'm not gonna
so
lie.
be it. They was the first ones that sent it. So I told my cousin, I'm like, yo, I'm going to Kane. He's like, you going to Kane? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to Kane. I'm going to turn up. And then I literally like stopped going to Home Depot on some no call, no show shit. Okay. But I was like, you know what? I kind of want to go back. I liked it. So I waited like a week and then I went back. I cried, fake cried. And then they took me back. Accepted? No, getting my job back.
Wow.
Yeah, they took me back and then like a week later, I just stopped going.
That's very unprofessional.
And then what happened was I got the cane. I didn't want to do track. I wanted to play basketball. I played basketball my whole life. Like I don't want to say good, but at that time I was athletic. I was fast. I could play defense. I could do all the things but shoot, right? So I'm like, I want to play basketball. And I was going to play basketball for Kane. And then when I walked
they're D3. I know that.
They're D3.
Yeah, so you probably would have been good on a team.
I don't want to talk about them. Shout out to S. Dot. You know S. Dot?
No.
He Fetty Wap DJ. But he went to Kane at the time.
I don't know nobody's name. I know faces.
Yeah. We had beef because we ain't going to talk about that. But anyways, so I went to the coach's office. I'm like, hey, I want to walk on to the team. He like, for what? I got a whole team. I got recruits. I don't need you. And he just slammed it on my face. So I'm like, the basketball coach. So I'm like, oh shit. It's like that. It's up then. Like every time I see y'all, I'm clowning y'all because you just tried to play me in my face. It just so happened that they hired a brand new track coach, and he just so happened to be in the office. Same day I met Reggie. Reggie's my best friend to this day. I met him that same day. Coach was like, "Oh, you do this in track? Come on, you on the team." I'm like, okay.
That easy. And
then it just so happened that now I'm doing track. Okay. So my education wasn't really my priority. It just so happened that I had to maintain a 2.0 GPA.
Which is really low.
I had a 2.7 my first semester. So I was eligible. Nice. And then that's how track came about. But it wasn't no intention. I just kind of wanted to go to school, have some fun, meet some girls, just be toxic. So
what you did?
I did. And then I ended up getting a full scholarship to a D1 school, qualifying for nationals, all that stuff. But the dream got stifled because, like I said, I met my goals and then I got hurt. When I got hurt, it was just like I can't compete.
So it was the injury for sure.
Yeah, I just lost my passion, so I just gave up on it. But now I try to coach, show Jaden the way.
Yeah, you still try to like be in it somehow, some way.
What about you?
What is a dream? I don't think I've ever let go of any of my dreams. Actually, I'm lying. So, the only dream that I can like really think about is when I was going into college. So I changed my major like 3 times.
You wanted to be an interior designer, right?
No, I wanted to do graphic design.
Close. I was close.
Yeah, that I think that was on the list at some point. Okay. But no, I wanted to do graphic design because like I was just very creative as a child. Like I used to draw like cartoons and shit.
All the shit you dreamed about, you would just draw.
I would draw it probably, yeah. So that was a connection. But when I got to college and I just realized that that school just wasn't it for graphic design, I was like, all right, well, I need to switch this shit up. But it was nothing like super deep. It was just more so me logically thinking at the time, like, what can I do that like I can instantly make money like when I get out of college, which was the business degree, because you can utilize business like in any industry that like you go into. So that was my thinking. So that's why I got my business degree. And then as far as I would say, so for this question, just to flip it, I think now I have accepted my path as a technology career. And for a long time, like, I just didn't want to accept this just because of the stigma of it. And, like, the people would always tell me, like, oh, you're not the typical, like, tech person, and kind of try to, like, downplay my abilities of, like, knowing my shit. And now it's, like, I don't let that get to me anymore because, like, I know, like, where I'm at.
And as far as your shit.
Yeah, I know my shit, and I just know where I'm at in my career. Did you just... Okay, I was like, wait, did he boo me?
No, he was booing everybody else.
Okay, yeah, it's a bomb drop. But yeah, that's like the only dream that like now I've just accepted. That's just not my calling, but like for now, this is just where I'm at.
Yeah, I don't think I've accepted where I'm at. I think I'm still in constant
You're still pushing
state
forward,
of progression.
like you were saying.
But at the same time, when it comes to things like that, dreams, Langston Hughes told us about dreams deferred, you know, so we just gotta keep it pushing.
Gotta keep it pushing.
But having children, one thing I do want to do is make sure that I don't put like my lost ambitions onto my children.
Yes,
like,
a lot of parents do that. That's another conversation for another episode. We got to put that in the notes.
All right, so we got our last question for the night.
Okay, we gotta make this quick.
What are you not willing to compromise on?
As far as what?
As far as life.
Oh, in life, I'm not willing to compromise with not pursuing things that I want to start. So as far as like a business, running multiple businesses, successful multi-million-dollar businesses, like that's something that I'm striving for. So right now it's just like figuring out the fundamentals, because one of the things that my grandma has told me is, how can you start a business when you don't even know how to work for somebody else? Because even with your own business, like, you're still going to have to collaborate with people, different companies, and collaboration is key. So right now I'm just trying to just figure out, you know, like how the bottom works until I get to those like managerial owner level and then go from there. So yeah, I think that's something that I'm not willing to compromise on.
I don't actually like compromising. Like, if I want it, I want it, and I don't want to, you know, waver on that. So I don't think I'm willing to compromise on my unwillingness to compromise. Like, I don't want to.
Has that ever been like detrimental?
No, because we operate in life with deal breakers and non-negotiables, and that's just how you need to stick to it. Like, if this is something that I don't fuck with, I don't fuck with it.
Yeah,
like,
I'm big on non-negotiables.
Like, I understand that this is something that you may be big on. Then we just, like me and Dana have no problem doing, we agree to disagree. Like,
but there's no issue.
Yeah, it's no issue, and it's never an issue. It's just sometimes people make it an issue because it's like, I want you to change for me, and it's like, no, I don't want to change. And if you need me to change to benefit you in any way, whether it's professional,
a lack of confidence as well.
Yeah, and I'm good on that. Like, don't get me wrong, like, if I think it's something minor, I have no problem making an adjustment, but don't think it's because of you. Think it's because Aaron is willing to, you know, make amends. But it's my 80, my 20 of my 80. I'm never giving up my 80 for any human in this world. And I'm just not.
The people that are in your life clearly have accepted that.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, I'm still in a relationship. I still like have family and friends around me, and they know this about me, and they're okay with it. So, shit, if that works for you, then it works for you.
And I think it needs to work for a lot more people, because we are so willing to give up ourselves for other people's happiness, and at the detriment to our own happiness.
That shit makes me like cringe.
Like, nah, go be happy. Find a way. And if this
stand
person don't
stand
want,
on your own 2 feet. Like, stop
stand on
depending.
your own, all 10 toes down.
10 toes down, 2 feet. Same shit.
5 fingers discount.
Okay.
What do 5 fingers say to the
So
face?
just to circle back to this last question before we get out of here, would you date yourself? And then you said, what quality about me physically,
mentally,
would I want in the person?
if you was to talk about your physical quality.
No, I said, like, I'm not. Shut up. Anyway, so
She's funny.
one of the things I can think of is my willingness to understand a person's perspective. So just like get more information of why they think that way. And I can disagree, but I'm open to hearing your side. And I'm gonna still tell you my side and maybe tell you why I'm more right. But I'm still open.
She gonna make sure she
to
like,
your opinion.
I hear you.
I hear you, but like I don't agree with your whatever it is.
All Dana gonna do like is that's how you know. That's how you know.
Yeah, so that's the answer to the question.
Well, I appreciate it unpacking some tough questions.
How do you
between
feel?
the both
Do you
of
feel
us.
like
I feel
lighter?
Nah, I feel tense. Like I feel like I've been running. Like I feel like we just
Like
went through a lot.
exhausted? Yeah, we did go through
I
a
feel
lot
like we
with
just
these
went through a lot.
questions. I feel lighter though, since this is the wrap up and we're done with this. So this was a great way to start 2023.
2023, welcome. You know?
Yes.
How you feeling?
I'm good.
Light.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. But to all our coworkers, we appreciate y'all every single step of the way, and we appreciate y'all for joining us again for another wonderful episode of the We Outside After Work podcast.
Yes, thank you guys. You could catch us if you want to be on the podcast, or if you want to just tell us a story, reach out to us about something that happened at work or anything that you would like our advice on. You can hit us at the WOAWpod@gmail.com.
Absolutely. And with no further ado, we outside after work, and we out.